Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I'm going to show you how I made this book, this binder cover, I guess, that's on the edge of the page. Now this particular book is what I created to demonstrate how I use the double page. See, if I take away that and I take away um, those three things, and I go to the gear and I turn off double page. This is how this book originated or started. Um, just one vertical page, but I turned on the double width, and then I created this book. Well, there, that book, okay? Um, Now, of course, I show in the original video how to just take an existing book and place on top. But if you don't want to spend the money to buy one, you can make one in Zoom Notes just like this. And I'm going to show you how. Okay. Let me go to a different document. Landscape. Okay. First thing I do, and I've already done it, is create 5 layers. Let me do it this way. I always like to pin this particular menu, my layers menu, so that I can see everything real quick and easy, so that I'm not constantly doing this number, scrolling and looking and going back and forth to it. I just leave it open or pinned. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, I've already made 5 layers. One I'm calling brown, then tan, then black, then stitch, then center. And I said it that way because that's the order that you do it. You start at the bottom and work your way up. So I'm going to go ahead and go to brown, and I'm going to lock up all the other layers. I just always do that because I don't know, to me it's safer. All right, I'm going to go and create a rectangle shape. Now, as you can see, I've already got a brown border with a blue fill. That's my default. So I'm going to go and change that now because I don't need a blue center. Go ahead and make the first layer what you really want, okay? So I'm going to take my pen and drag across the little brown and blue square in the top of this menu, the preview. I'm going to drag it to the left so that it's not so big. And then I'm going to go to fill and turn fill off. Okay. Oh, go back to style, and I'm going to do a corner radius. I wanted rounded corners, so I drag it. I don't know. I'm gonna make it 6 just because. It's an easy number to remember. All right. Now, in case you're not aware, I'll go ahead and tell you that the square underneath the radius, corner radius, this square right here, is the one that determines where the corner is rounded, which corner is rounded. So if I turn these two on, see the 2 right corners are rounded and the left side is still square. You might be doing a page from a book or something, and you want a rounded corner, but the center of the book is not going to be rounded. So this is when you might want to have this particular setup where there's no corner rounding on the center or the left side. But for my case, I need to go ahead and round them all because I'm doing both sides of the book at one time. All right, now I go to I think that's all I want to do. Okay, I go to the tan layer, and all I'm doing is tapping on tan, and that automatically unlocks tan, and I'm going to lock brown up just because I don't I don't want to make a mistake. If I can keep up with it as I go, I do much better. All right. Now I'm just going to go to the menu, the selection menu, and duplicate the brown square. All right. So I've just put that same thing onto the tan layer. I'm going to the black. I'm going to duplicate again. I'm making 4 of the same exact thing. I changed to stitch now, and I make another duplication of it. Duplicate. So now I've got 4 squares. If I unlock this one and I do a selection and I look at my selection menu, you can see that I've got 4 items selected. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to not worry about the center yet. I'm going to go back to the tan layer, and I'm going to leave the bottom brown visible, but I'm going to make invisible the stitch layer, the black layer, and just have the tan and the brown visible. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and lock. I'm going to make the tan my current, and I'm going to lock up all the other ones. Okay, so now I'm working just on the tan layer. I select and I go to the shape, and now I'm going to go to border, and I'm going to change the color of the border. I'm going to, let's see, probably use this one, the bottom one. I just changed it. Go back, and I'm going to drag my pen across the middle again, and I'm making that layer, that border smaller. I probably should have done a more, you know what, I'm going to change it to a lighter color just so you guys can see it. See, and as I drag, it gets a little bit smaller. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to go to the selection menu, and I'm going to explode that rectangle. Now what that will do is take it from a shape to handwriting. See, if I look here under shape under properties, let me close this down and close this down. See, under properties, I've got shape properties, so I know that's still a shape. But once I explode it, you know what? No, I'm not. I just exploded. I've just changed it from the shape to handwriting, so I can literally erase it now. It's just like I drew this square. I just did a really good job of it. And the main reason I want to do that is not to erase it, but so that I can change the pen that it uses. See how smooth and perfect that pen is? If you're looking at the tan, it's perfect. But if I click on the pen, oops, I just changed it to black. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I can go here. I'm going to change it to the second pen, that one right there. Instead of, this is what it was, this is what I want it to be. And I'm going to change the color back, and I'm going to change it back to the, maybe this one. Turn off the dash. And go here, and I'm going to make it larger. Oh, see, it's not doing it. It's because it's not selected anymore. Oops. Well, I keep using the pen to try to select it. That's why I'm getting all these little dots. Okay, once again, I have the shape selected. I go to the, nope, as soon as I change it to pen, see it unselects it, so I can't do it that way. I've got to select it and go here, go to handwriting properties, and change the pen here, and change the color here. And now I have to do apply, just so I can see it. Now, I'm going to make it bigger and do apply again. And see how it's suddenly started looking more round instead of just tan on black, because it's fuzzy. Well, see how fuzzy it is if I let go of it. Now I need to undo that. Okay, so I'm going to call that done just because it looks close enough to me. Now I could, and instead of having it that color tan, I could do a lighter color and it'd be more obvious probably, but I'm going to leave it alone. Now I'm going to the black layer, turn the bottom, the tan at the bottom off and the brown at the bottom off, so you can't see it, and make just the black visible, and lock up the bottom two layers. Now I'm working just on the black. I will show you why I do this in a second, or maybe it'll be obvious to you once I do it. Now I'm going to select it. It's unlocked. Okay, now it's selected. Again, I'm going to change the pen. See, it's still a shape. I want the top two to be shapes. So I go here and I change the border to be, now any one of these you could go ahead and add the draw shadow, just because I like to have a shadow on the bottom left corner. And then I'm going to go to border and do dashed, and I'm going to take it way, 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 way down. No, I'm wrong. Don't do dashed on this one. This one is I'm doing the black layer, sorry. So I've got to change my palette to this one and make it black. It's just that you can't, well, I haven't applied it yet, but it's hard to see once I've done it. I'm going to drag and then do apply. So now I've got a black layer like that. Okay? Now I'm going to go to the stitch layer and make it visible. And I'm going to leave the black alone. Go to the stitch layer. And okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select it and go to shape properties and drag. I'm taking my pen and dragging it across the preview. You can't see me doing that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just dragging my pen to the left. And of course, nothing's happening on the preview, but on the actual paper, because I'm using the selection menu to do it. And this time I'm going to change it to white and hit apply, so you can't see it. I need to I'm not sure why I can't see oh, I know why. Nancy. The reason you can't see the the black, is because the white's right on top of it. And I haven't changed it to a dashed line. I'm making the stitches now. So I go back to, I've got to select it so that I can get the operations, shape properties. And now I'm going to change the border to dashed and do apply. See, now you can see the black underneath it. Now I'm going to drag my pen again on the preview up at the top of the menu. I'm going to drag it to make the stitches a little bit smaller and do apply. Let me see, and if I tap off, it'll be easier to see. See, the stitches they could be smaller, but that's okay. And now if I put the bottom two on, see, now you can see it. And that's all you have to do. You've now got a border that looks kind of like a binder. Now, the next thing I do is worry about the center. And I turn this on, the selection guidelines on for this, just so I can find the center. Now, I will tell you that, see, whenever I do it, see how it gives me upper and lower, a vertical line in the middle, so I know where center is. But that's center of the paper, not of the book. So in order to, oh, and see, I didn't switch, but that's okay. I'm going to get rid of it anyway. But if I change to the center, so now when I do put a center on it, it will be on the correct layer. And I'm going to unlock all the others so that I can move. Let me get rid of this one first. I'm going to move that out of the way so that I can, oh, see, now at some point I accidentally moved the white, the stitching from on top of the black. See how you can see that? I have to fix that. But I want to go ahead and select and move all that to the center of the page so that when I put the center of the book, it is correct center. All right, so now I just, there you go. I have it centered there. I don't know if you saw that. See how the rectangle, I mean the dashed line shows up when it's in the correct center. And now I know when I move this, it'll be the center of the book as well. Okay, now this to me is the absolute easiest, and what I would do is pay the $5 or $6 and get a bunch of rings that come with this particular package. I think it was $5 or $6 when I bought it. You see how easy that is. But if you don't want to go to Etsy and pay for binders, there's a bunch of different ones. All you have to do is go to Etsy and search for binder rings, digital binder rings, and you'll find thousands probably, okay? But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to go ahead. I'm on the center. I've made it my current, and I'm going to lock up the other 4 layers so that my book is okay. I do still need to fix the dash line so it's on top of the black, but that's okay. Now, when I want to make it, the center of the book look like there's a dip in it, you know, where the stitches would be or where the binding is in the middle of the book, I will create another shape. And this time, I don't need a whole bunch. I've got it centered. I go ahead and click on the icon at the bottom, and I want to kill the border. I don't need a border. And I go to fill, and I'm going to change it from flat to gradient. And I'm going to click on the right arrow where the black square is underneath, and I'm going to change that to white. I'm going to go back, go to the green one, change that to black, go back, and now go to the blue and change that to white. Now I've just put a very severe black center, and I don't usually have it this wide. You can have it wide so that it's a really big dip, but I don't do that. I usually will make it small, about like that. So this is just lifting the pages up ever so slightly, or the appearance of lifting I'm trying to select it now and move it, make sure it's in the center. Okay. Now what I will also do is, again, go to the shape and go back to the fill. I will usually drag one side or the other, usually the top, drag it slightly towards the middle. And what that's doing, let me move it over so you can see. See, watch. Let me go back. If I go to fill, if this is where it's at now, but if I drag it to the white, see the left side, the shadow's getting closer to the middle. So the left side of the page is not as high up or have the illusion of it being high up as the one on the right. And then I could go ahead and do that if I wanted to, but I don't. So I undo that. Well, heck, I undid too far. Go back to the shape, go back to the fill, take it back to the center, just so the right side looks a little higher than the left. And if I tap off, you can see how it gets a little bit lighter. Not that much, but let me do it again. Select it, go here, and go ahead and take down the opacity if it's too strong for you. See, make it more subtle, and there you have it. Now what I do is I'll take a ruler. Now there's lots of ways to draw a straight line. This is just one that I'm choosing. I'm doing the ruler, and I'm going to put it down at the bottom, and I'm using the darker blue square to drag it to where I want it to be. There you have it. And I get my pen, and I can use this one and just draw my black line. What I'm doing is creating stitches for the center, like the book has been stitched, okay? Now I'm going to change to a different pen because this particular pen that I'm using now does not have dashed lines. But I know that the one in the next to it, the one on the right, has the dashed lines. Now, I want it to be white, and let me make it black and take it way, way down. And I'm dragging across. It's like I'm taking my pen on the right side of that black line and drawing toward the left to make it smaller. And then I'm going to go to Customize and turn on Dashed. Now I'll go back to the style and turn it to white. Now I'm going to just draw again, the dashed line. And I've just created stitching running down the middle of the page. Okay, ta-da. Now, one thing that I will usually do just for illusion of it, I will usually go ahead and draw, and I can do it on this layer. I don't have to. I could create a whole new layer for it, but there's no need. So I'm going to draw another shape. I don't know why I've got it defaulting to this big old hunkin' black, brown thing. But I guess so you guys can see it. I'm going to turn the fill off, and I'm going to turn the border off. And I'm going to go to the style and turn on draw shadow, and see if I select it and drag it slightly from the left side, it gives the illusion, I'm making it just ever so smaller, so that it looks almost like a stack of pages as opposed to just one page flat. This gives the illusion that there's a lifted page. And I can do the same thing on the right if I want to. And I can go ahead and use that as my setting for my page turn. So I've got it selected, and I go to the gear, and I do center, and that's it, and do done. So now that's where my page is going to turn. Well, let's see if I put a page to the left, and now, of course, since I need to copy, go back, okay, and I would have to copy that and make that the, every page have that. Probably should have put those on masters, and that way it would automatically put it on all the pages, but I didn't. But okay, so let's see. I'm here, and you know what? I'm not gonna worry about lining everything up. Y'all know how to line up stuff, but this is it. This is now I've just created. Let me select everything, unlock everything, and select it all. Now, when I want to select everything, it's just easier for me to go to the selection menu and do toggle selection. See, I've just selected 10 different items, so everything is selected, and what was I gonna do? I'm sorry, y'all, it's early in the morning. I totally can't remember where I was going with this. Oh, I was going to just drag it and show you that, see how it's just the border. That's what I was going to do, sorry. But anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Y'all have a great day here. Oh, and by the way, late Merry Christmas. This is the next day, okay? I hope y'all have a good one, and if you're traveling, be careful. Okay, bye.